Steve, good morning.
Good morning.
Any early team news you can let us in on?
Nothing from the weekend. Obviously, we picked up some injuries last week, and still not ready to make a final decision on whether them lads are back yet. But obviously, 3-game week. It's sometimes a chance to use more players than normal. So we'll try and make the right choices.
I was actually just going to come on to that. Could we expect, I know you're not going to tell me any specific names, but could we expect any changes and a freshening up of things with it being such a quick turnaround?
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, with it being Saturday, Tuesday, it's definitely a possibility. Like I said, haven't made a final decision on that yet. There's still quite a bit of preparation to go before the game on Tuesday night. But for sure, we have options. Even though we have picked up a few knocks in the last couple of weeks, and some players are getting a bit fitter and stronger. People like Raul Mangala now is had a couple of weeks without any disruption, and that's been important because he's had a frustrating couple of months since 6 weeks or so since he got injured. So yeah, like I said, as normal, look at what we think it takes to do well in the game and try and pick the right team.
How good is it to get back onto the horse after the weekend?
Well, yeah, I mean, when you have a frustrating result, and there's been a few of them, obviously, of late, then you are keen to put things right and to get back playing and to, we're obviously striving for points, we're striving for a win, and we're doing everything we can to try and achieve that. And the fact there's a game Tuesday is something probably we prefer rather than wait another week. So we need to be ready. And Brighton's obviously going to be a really tough game. And I know they've had a change of manager, but they've had a really good start to the season, and a team that's obviously been put together well, and been together. A few years now, so it's a game that we've got to be ready for. But like I said, it's all focus for us is on us because we need to improve.
What do you make of this Brighton side under new guidance? And is the Brighton boss Roberto De Zerbi somebody you know?
No, he's not. If I'm being honest, and obviously, the change of manager so soon. When they were doing so well, was probably not an ideal thing for them, but I think they've played well in the last 3 games and had some tough games within that as well. So I think they've kept their way going, and we have to be very wary of that, and we will. But at the same time, my real focus is on some of the things that we didn't do well enough on the weekend at Wolves. As I said straight after the game, and I say it again, I didn't like our in possession game at all. It wasn't at the level that we should be at, and certainly what's required in the Premier League. So we're addressing that really more than thinking about Brighton. But at the same time, we respect them. They're a really good team, and made some great progress over the years. And it's a game that we've got to be good in to succeed, and that's what we're thinking about.
Roberto's still looking for his first win as a Brighton manager. Is that something you can play on and potentially frustrate them?
Well, like I said, we've got a lot internally to think about, and that's where our focus is. We are going through a period of trying, to get to the required level. There's no doubt about that. We can't hide away from the fact that results and parts of performances have not been good enough for this level. So, we can't be thinking too much about anyone else's situation. We've got to do better ourselves. And like I said, there was some bits against Wolves that was okay, but our in possession game was not what we planned, and not what we want to be. So of course, we need to improve on that, but we need to continue to try and strive to be a good defensive unit as well, because both sides of the game in this league is so important, and in any league, but definitely in the Premier League. So like I said, we are committed to improving ourselves, and if we do that, we give ourselves the best chance of picking up more points than what we have been, and that's our main focus.
You've mentioned that a couple of times now, Steve, about being better on the ball. Can you say specifically what it is you're looking for from the team when in possession?
Well, our idea of of our game hasn't changed from certainly day one since I've been here. I know a lot has changed in terms of what league we play in now and the team that we have. But, we do have our idea of how we want to play. And at times we have played well, and, we've looked a threat and we've scored goals. What we haven't been able to do is get an all-round performance. And, for Aston Villa, if you like, we were good defensively and just okay with the ball. And we weren't bad defensively on the weekend against Wolves. Dean hasn't had a real sort of save to make. But in saying that, neither did their goalkeeper. And that's because of what I'm saying is, we didn't play well enough with the ball. So, we're striving to improve all areas of our game and in the end become more whole than what we've been in games in terms of a performance. And but as I said, it's a great challenge. It's one that motivates us. I'm only seeing a committed set of lads. I'm only seeing lads who really want to succeed. I'm not seeing anybody hiding away from it, and that's important because when results are as they've been, you need people to stand up and be counted. Starts with me, and that's a good starting point. And like I said, we've got to continue to commit to improvement, and if we do that, we give ourselves the best chance.
Just a final couple from me. When you talk about being better on the ball, is one of the challenges the fact that you have got 23 new players or signed 23 new players and actually just getting those combinations and people working together better?
I think maybe, yeah. We definitely need to get good connection in our team throughout the lines, in units, relationships on the pitch for sure. But I don't want to use that as an excuse. It's more of a challenge, and that's just where we're at. But like I said, I'm only reflecting on the Wolves game about what I said about our in possession game. There's been other games we've played where we've looked decent with the ball. So like I said, it's just about trying to put it all together for a 90-minute period, both with and without the ball. And because like I said, the attitude's fine. Even after we went 1-0 down on the weekend, you didn't see a group of lads sort of not doing their very best to try and get back in the game. And we obviously didn't have the best of luck in scoring our penalty, and a couple of chances that we had after that. One really good one. So and that was through lads really wanting to to get something out of the game. So like I said, I've got no problems with the attitude of the players. I've got no problems with their commitment, and I see it every day. There's a real desire to try and succeed here from everybody. It's just about staying strong, staying together, committing to it, and aiming to, focus on what we're in control of, and that's improving. So, we have to carry on with that.
After the weekend, has Brennan needed an arm around him?
Well, it is a young player, and it was a difficult moment, but in the end, it's difficult moments. How you respond from them is a big factor in who you become. And I've got great faith and belief in Brennan. He's been outstanding since my time here over the last 12 months. Works hard every day, cares, wants to improve, local boy, and has delivered. There's no doubt about that over the 12 months. So, it won't be the first penalty that he'll miss, I'm sure. But I know he'll be committed to trying to put it right, whether that's from the penalty spot or in open play. Not just scoring goals, but with a performance as well. So, we'll never play the blame game on individuals. Brennan, and certainly with Brennan, he's too important to the club and what we're trying to do.
If you get a penalty down at Brighton, will he be on it?
We'll see.
Just very finally, and apologies if you did address this at the end of the game against Wolves on Saturday. The social media post.
Yeah.
When were you made aware of that? Were you made aware of it? Were you?
No, I was asked in the press conference with your colleagues, and I wasn't aware of it. And then I was notified about what happened after, and it wasn't a good thing from the club, and it wasn't helpful. But it's been dealt with, and I think that's the important thing, is about learning from it. Didn't have an impact on the performance and result. I'm not going to use that as an excuse, and the players, professional players of both teams will be won't need a social media post to be motivated to get a result. But But it wasn't a good moment for us. But we need to draw a line under it. Trust that the club will deal with it and move on.
The Wolves players said that they used it as motivation as part of their WhatsApp group chat. You don't really need teams to have any further motivation in the Premier League, do you?
No, like I said, it wasn't helpful. But at the same time, it's done now. It won't happen again, and we need to move on.
Steve, good luck.
You too. Thanks.
I see. Just
Dave, all right? How are you?
Yeah, good, thanks. Just looking ahead, realistically, are we going to see the best of Forest later in the season? Because it's going to take some time to gel this new squad.
Well, I hope we're sooner rather than later, because we need to, because obviously the league position is not a great one, to say the least, and form, etc., results. So I don't really want to say that, because there's no reason why we can't go to Brighton tomorrow and play well and get a result that we're all striving and working hard for, because we have been so close to picking up more points than what we have up to now. So it's not as if we've been well beaten in every game that we've played. It's been fine margin even on the weekend. Okay, I'm saying that I want us to play better in certain areas, but we could have easily drawn the game, and maybe some of the conversations are a little bit different then. But no, we've got to have the attitude of being very good today, and very good in the next game, because if we have that mentality of waiting, then who knows, things could be too late. And we've already put ourselves in a situation now where we have to get some wins to catch up in terms of getting out of the relegation zone. We have to face up to that. That's where we are. We're in the relegation zone and we want to get out of it. I know it's still fairly early in the season, but if you have that mentality of it's early, then time flies and there's not as many games left as what you think. And so we've got to really focus on the next game, really focus on believing that we can play well and we can win, and look no further than that, hoping that while we're doing that and picking up more points than what we have, then we're developing all of the stuff that we're talking about in terms of being a team and playing style and connections on the pitch, and we need them to go hand in hand.
In terms of Brighton, they were out of the top flight for a long time, rather like Forest. Are they some kind of template for you to build on how you progress?
Well, there's definitely loads to admire with Brighton in terms of, and I don't know the club that well, but from the outside looking in, you can see that they've a club that's made a lot of progress over the years, and look at the start they've had, in the season, and the players that they have, very technical, creative team. So it's going to be a tough game, and one that we will have to be ready for, but at the same time one we're looking forward to, because of, like I said, the manner of what we didn't do on the weekend is fired the lads up really to do better in the next game, and with the game coming on in a few days later, I'm hoping that will be a good thing. Cheers. Hiya, you alright?
Can I just check on Serge? He obviously against Villa and wasn't involved on Saturday. Is he one of those that you've got doubt over?
Well, yeah, we're giving a few every chance to be available, and Serge has had a bit of an accelerated programme since he came in, with not really doing a pre-season, and I think I said to you before, doing a few days, going on international duty, getting some playing minutes there, which was important. Leicester and obviously the Villa game, but it's all happened a bit quick. So and when you do that, you do tend to pick up some niggles, which is what he has. This is a muscle injury, so we'll see. We'll see what today brings on tomorrow.
Is Lod as well?
Yeah, similar. Yeah, Rennan's more of a contact injury than a muscle injury, so that's just trying to give every chance for the kick to sort of the swelling to come down, and when that happens, then you tend to progress quickly. So like I said, we'll give these lads every chance. Obviously, Lewis was different. He was ill and with a bug, which really knocked him back, and hopefully, he can recover quickly as well by getting the right sort of nutrition into him and getting the right training programs, because he's a really fit lad, Lewis, and like I said, Arel's getting stronger as well. So with the training program, so So yeah, all of these things that you always have to manage, you know, with injuries and availability, particularly when there's games in quick succession. But at the same time, we'll try and do our work wisely and see where we're at come kick off. Thanks.